Serial rapist PC David Carrick is likely to have been paid out at least £60,000 while in police custody following his arrest for rape in October 2021. The serving armed Met police officer yesterday pleaded guilty to 49 charges, including 24 of rape, 9 of sexual assault and 3 of false imprisonment. But due to the process around police misconduct hearings, he has continued to receive a full salary despite being held in custody for more than a year. His pay was only stopped when he entered his first guilty pleas in December 2022. On Tuesday, he was finally sacked after lawyers representing the Met told a hearing that Carrick's behaviour will cause immeasurable damage to confidence in the force and that policing has taken a step backwards as a result of these offences. On Monday, the Met admitted failings in missing multiple opportunities to suspend Carrick, saying he was involved in 9 separate police investigations before being detained in 2021. Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley said, "I think we failed over 2 decades to be as ruthless as we ought to be in guarding our own integrity. We haven't been as intrusive as we should be, joining the dots on cases to stop problematic officers, and we haven't been as determined in our own decision making, as confident and assertive as the public would expect, and that is why I'm apologising." The country's most prolific sex offender in recent history was first arrested on suspicion of rape in July 2021, but wasn't suspended from the Met at that time. He was put on restricted duties, withdrawn from public-facing deployments, and had his firearms authorisation removed. Carrick's victim decided to drop the complaint at the time, with the Met choosing to reinstate him in September. Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley says the force will be ruthless in review of 1,000 sexual and domestic abuse claims involving its officers after cop admits multiple rapes. The Met Police said 1,633 cases of alleged sexual offences or domestic violence involving 1,071 officers and other staff after being reviewed to ensure that appropriate decisions were made. Addressing the review, Sir Mark told the media, "So that's 1,000 cases to look at. Some of those will be things of no concern in the end when we look at them, because it will be an argument overheard by neighbours where inquiries show there's nothing to be concerned about. But in there, I'm sad to say, there will be some cases where in the past we should have been more assertive and looked to throw officers out, and we haven't done," he said. He added, "We're going to turn all those stones over. We're going to come to right conclusions, and we will be ruthless about rooting out those who corrupt our integrity. You have my absolute assurance on that." His comments come after Met Police PC David Carrick pleaded guilty to 49 offences against 12 women, including dozens of rapes. Sir Mark apologised to Carrick's victims, saying the force had let women and girls down. Carrick, who was an armed PC in the Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Unit of the Met, used his position to lure women and then bully them into keeping quiet about his attacks over a 17-year period, police and prosecutors said. The Met apologised to victims after it came out that Carrick's attacks had come to their attention over 9 incidents, including allegations of rape, domestic violence and harassment between 2000 and 2021. Detective Chief Inspector Ian Moore from Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire Major Crime Unit said the sheer number of offences showed Carrick's prolific and callous nature. He added that he expects even more victims to come forward. Carrick met some of his victims through online dating sites such as Tinder and Badoo, or out socially. DCI Moore said, whilst he was not a man that stalked the streets scouting for victims, he invested time in developing relationships with women to sustain his appetite for degradation and control. The coercive nature of his offending undermined those victims in the most destructive way. Carrick admitted to raping 9 of the women. Some of the attacks took place over months or years, injuring the victims in some cases. Assistant Commissioner Barbara Gray, the Met's lead for professionalism, said, "On behalf of the Met Police, I want to apologise to the women who have suffered at the hands of David Carrick. I commend their outstanding bravery in coming forward and reporting the horrific crimes they were victims of. Carrick is a prolific serial sex offender who preyed on women over a period of many years, abusing his position as a police officer and committing the most horrific, degrading crimes. He has devastated women's lives. He has had a devastating impact on the trust and confidence of women and girls that we are working so hard to earn. He has devastated colleagues. Carrick will be sentenced over 2 days from February the 6th. So what do you think, guys? Can't even put your trust in the police no more. Hit me with your comments.